The protests in Iran are now very much into their third week. A US-based human rights group has put the death toll from the security forces' crackdown on protesters at over 2,500. Iranian state television, in a broadcast on Tuesday, offered the first official acknowledgement of the deaths in and during these protests, quoting an official saying there was a high number of martyrs, quote unquote, and that it did not release a toll earlier because of the dead suffering gruesome injuries. However, the statement came only after the rights groups reported their toll. Mind you, there are certain reports giving that death toll, placing it far higher in multiple number of thousands. But this is the figure that has been released so far. It also released footage said to show the scenes of the aftermath of protests in several major cities of Iran. The images depicted buildings on fire, burnt vehicles and damaged banks.
They burnt almost 50 vehicles, buses, private cars and emergency vehicles.
US President Trump, in a post on Truth Social, urged people to continue protesting and called on them to take over government institutions, assuring help was on the way. When asked what he meant by help was on the way, Trump declined to clarify. The US President also said that nobody has been able to give him an accurate number for how many protesters have been killed in recent demonstrations.
I have heard numbers from everything's a lot, one is a lot, but I've heard numbers much lower and I've heard numbers much higher. We'll be knowing, we're probably going to find out over the next 24 hours. I think it's a lot.
In an interview with CBS later in the day, he warned that a deadly crackdown on protesters would bring a lot of problems for the country's leadership.
We don't want to see what's happening in Iran happen. And, you know, if they want to have protests, that's one thing. When they start killing thousands of people, and now you're telling me about hanging, we'll see how that works out for them. It's not going to work out good.
Reports suggest that Israeli and Arab officials have privately suggested that US should hold back on large-scale strikes. They believe the Iranian regime may not yet be weakened to the point where US military strikes would be the decisive blow that topples it. There are also reports doing the rounds that Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff has privately met the son of Iran's deposed former Shah, Reza Pahlavi, who's now the Crown Prince. This meeting took place secretly to discuss these protests taking place in Iran. As ambiguity prevails over US next action, Iran's UN ambassador Amir Sayed Iravani has written to the UN Security Council. In this letter, he has accused Trump, the US president, of encouraging political destabilization, inciting violence and threatening Iran's sovereignty, territorial integrity and national security. The letter said that US, along with Israel, bore direct and undeniable legal responsibility for the loss of innocent civilian lives, particularly among the youth. UGC images posted on social media show dozens of bodies lying at the Forensic Diagnostic Center of Tehran. And the province in Tehran is Karizak, as grieving relatives searched for their loved ones here.